Greetings programs. In this video we are going to be having a look at this rather collectible book that I have in my possession. It's the Melody, Chord and Lyrics to the Boy with the X-Ray Eyes, a 1996 album by Babylon Zoo. I was meant to write a detailed analysis of this album on my website, and it's still not finished. For reasons I'd rather not really want to say. It will be posted, but unfortunately I can post in due time, which was on August 30, which was when the vinyl reissue of the album came out. Couldn't really be done, unfortunately. Unforeseen circumstances. So I figured that if there was any way I could make up for that, it'd be to have a look at this rather nice sheet music. Okay, so what do we know about it? Well, if we have a look on the back cover, we can see that all 11 songs from the album have been listed. Just as we have them listed here, we have them also listed on the original album as released in 1996. Okay. There's a few surprises in here that I didn't expect. As we can see, the spine is just basically the same thing that's written on the front. We also have publishing details. Now, one thing that I do want to state is that due to legal reasons regarding the intellectual property of this, I can't show every page of the sheet music on this. That's all very much copyright infringing, so I can't show every single page of the book, but I can show you most of the non-musical parts of the book and one or two pages of the sheet music, so you have an idea on how the book is made, constructed. Okay, so when we open the book, we lift the front cover, we have the title page, and again we have the song names, the page number that they begin at, and we also have folio, copyright date of 1996, music transcribed by Barnes Music Engraving Limited, lots of nerdy small details, printed by Panda Group of Haverhill, binding by ABS of Cambridge. That's interesting. Yeah, reproducing music in any form is illegal and forbidden by the Copyright Designs Patents Act. We have an address for the New Atlantis Information Bureau. That's interesting. I wonder if that PA box is still valid. Anyway, if we turn the page at this point, we will have two large print images. Now bear in mind that this book is around about A4 size or slightly larger than A4. On this side we have a nice high quality print, well, relatively high quality print of an image that was used to promote Animal Army, which was the second single released from the album, right after their mega hit Spaceman, number one Valentine's Hit of 1996. Anyway, in the case of Animal Army, this is the image that was printed on the original CD single. It was also printed on the limited edition 12-inch single in vinyl form as well. So there we go. At least in this image though, we don't have this almighty great donut impeding the conversation between the Prime Minister and his sheep. Okay, now Jazzman isn't Prime Minister. He definitely isn't Prime Minister, and he never would want to be that, but we can see the private eye-ish sort of humour that's going on there. George Orwell's Animal Farm, more or less that. On the second album we can see that is in fact a rather badly proportioned print. They got the aspect ratio very wrong on this. It's a black and white image based on the front cover to Animal Army. And it's not very well proportioned because the aspect ratio is very vertically stretched. But the first image is quite nice. I guess the second is kind of artistic in its own right, subjective to taste. Okay, so this is how the music is constructed on all of the pages. For each of the 11 songs, we have a line of lyrics, we have a line of melody, we have these chord boxes, we have a G5, D5. I didn't realise that the chord progressions could be quite interesting on some of these Babylon Z songs. Another thing that's quite interesting though is that although we saw there was a publishing date of 1996, on every single song page we actually have a copyright of 1994 New Atlantic Music, as well as the MI Music Publishing. That's just really interesting, because that actually makes me wonder if that actually refers to the original planned publishing date when the band were initially signed to, was it Phonogram originally? Was it Phonogram? Then they moved to Warner with WEA, and then they moved to yet again to EMI before the album was finally released. So I'm thinking that 1994 date might actually refer to a time when Phonogram or perhaps WEA were set to publish the album. Of course though, interestingly enough, there was actually a different track listing for that version of the album, which remains lost in media at the moment. Okay, so yeah, it's lyrics, main melody, and guitar chord boxes. Now, I'm not a guitar player, so I can't really elaborate how these work. Though I would like to think that transcribing these to the piano wouldn't be all that difficult. Okay, so we can see that a song is typically around about 3 pages, 3 to 4 splash panels. It's about 4 for Animal Army. Okay. Another thing that I'm going to say here is the lyrical transcriptions have to be taken with a pinch of salt, because I don't think it's quite plum and dandy in my paradise. I'm pretty sure that was chrome and candy. I know there was never an official lyrical transcription in any of the CD releases of the album, and practically this is actually the closest we actually have to an official lyrical transcription, as a good friend of mine has confirmed that there is no lyrical insert with the 2024 vinyl release. So yeah, this is the closest you have, and probably is the official lyrical transcription, but there are some comically bad errors made in amongst these lyrics. Another notable example of lyrical transcription errors is on Fire Guided Light. Don't want to show too much of this music. Don't really want suits trying to kick my door down. Got enough for my life as it is. We have, here we go, this one. We're sitting on the edge of a coffee coloured crab. How do we sit on the edge of a coffee coloured crab? I do believe the correct lyric is coffee coloured crowd, which is a reference to caffeine. It's as if to say coffee and caffeine is a humorous take on describing the people of India. I think a lot of this album was semi-biographical of some hardships the songwriter had while growing up in such regions. Okay, so once we go through all 11 songs of these melodies and chord boxes, I think there was one instance where there was, sometimes you'll come across these C sharp sustained 4 chords and E sustained 2. These chords tend to be quite prominent on Confused Art. Very strange. Some of the chord progressions are pretty unexpected. I think this was really quite a proggy album. And progressive rock really wasn't a cool thing in the 90s, because in those days stuff like Keys to Ascension, The Division Bell weren't exactly outselling What's the Story with Me Glory, so this was a much cooler record than generally given for credit for. We have the end of the book written here. As we can see, it's mentioned again, it's printed in England by the Panda Group of Highfield and Suffolk. That brings us to the end of the book. And that's it, that's really all I can show you guys. It's a nice book. It's a nice book by itself, and it's a completely awesome book if you just so happen to like musical artwork, and that you're a musician who's quite keen on playing these songs as well. That's about it. Okay, so take care, keep on rocking fellow souls, and I'll see you around at some point or another.